7 worst moments in MLB history. Before we start, I'd like you to hit that red subscriber button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. What's up guys, welcome back to Homer Hub. Baseball is usually a happy, amazing game full of moments that fans love to watch, whether it's a great defensive play, a walk-off grand slam in the 9th inning, or an ace-twirling no-hitter. Baseball is full of these incredible moments. However, throughout the decades and decades that MLB has been so popular, there have also been a ton of dark moments. Some are sad, some are infuriating, and some are just plain embarrassing for the league. With that in mind, this video is going to take a closer look at some of the darker moments in MLB history. Number 1. The Roy Halladay plane crash. This one is very fresh in the minds of baseball's fans and is one of the saddest moments in recent MLB history. Roy Halladay was one of the best pitchers in the MLB during the 2000s and was especially legendary for the Canadian fans for his time with the Toronto Blue Jays. He won 2 Cy Young Awards, made several All-Star games, and even pitched a perfect game for the Phillies in 2010. However, Halladay sadly passed away in a plane crash late 2017, a few years after he retired. It was an incredibly sad and hard day for the sport. Number 2. The Black Sox Scandal. While fixing professional sports games happens from time to time, although a lot less these days, this was a whole other level. The Chicago White Sox were going against the Cincinnati Reds in the 1919 World Series, but this wasn't any old World Series. A few gamblers who had bet big money on the Sox to lose reached out to some players and offered them hefty sums if they threw the series. 8 players agreed, and together they intentionally threw the series. Soon, an investigation and trial took place, and all the players involved were banned from baseball forever. This might go down as the biggest scandal in the history of the majors. Number 3. Rafael Palmeiro tests positive. I have never used steroids, period. Those words rang loud and clear when Palmeiro addressed the United States Congress in 2005, and fans applauded him when he got his 3,000th hit on July 15th that same season. Just over 2 weeks later, the house came falling down. Palmeiro, who at that point had become one of the few members of the 3,000 hit and 500 home run club, tested positive for steroids and was suspended for 10 games per the rules of the time. He would return and finish out the season with the Baltimore Orioles, but has not played since. The man continues to deny ever using any form of PEDs, but the test says otherwise. After seeing such a vehement denial from him, it's sad to see he turned out to be cheating. Number 4. Lou Gehrig struck down in the prime of his life. On the 1st of June 1925, Lou Gehrig entered a game as a pinch hitter, a humble beginning for a game played streak that would last 14 seasons and 2,130 games. On May 2nd, 1939, after performing poorly and feeling weak and sluggish, he benched himself to end the streak. It was the last game he'd ever play. A month later, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a rare incurable disease which would become known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Number 5. Mets beat 100-1 odds to win 1969 World Series. From the time they took the field in 1962, the expansion New York Mets were both much beloved and much the laughingstock of Major League Baseball. From the start, they seemed doomed to failure, losing their first 9 games and finishing their first season with a 40-120 record, one of the worst in Major League history. Over the next 7 seasons, the Mets never finished higher than 9th in the 10th Team Nationals. Former GM George Weiss had said in 1968, "Some days they're terrible, others they're bad," but as the joke went, 1969 was guaranteed to be their best season ever. They were guaranteed to finish no worse than 6th because the league had been split into 2 6-division teams. Still, odds makers gave the Mets only a 100-1 chance of winning the World Series. Number 6. Pete Rose betting on baseball. During his playing and managing career, Pete Rose was incredible and was all but guaranteed to get into the Hall of Fame. He still is baseball's all-time leader in hits. However, in 1989, there were allegations that Pete Rose bet on baseball. Not only that, but he was accused of betting on the Reds while he was actively working as their manager. An investigation found the allegations to be true, and Rose was punished in a big way. He was banned from baseball for life, which meant he could never manage again and would never be eligible for the Hall of Fame. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are currently on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.